Hey guys, it's Ndoplex and welcome back to some more Monster Hunter Wilds. Now in today's video I have got for you 5 hunting tips or general combat tips that I think might really help you out throughout your hunts in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now these are going to range from number 5, which is going to be our easiest tip, our sort of most obvious tip, and the tip that I think some of you might already know, all the way up to our number 1, which is going to be a tip that I'm pretty sure 99% of you guys don't even know exists and is super helpful for you guys in this game. So if there are any tips in this video that you didn't know, go ahead and leave me a like, and if you did know all 5 of these tips, well, you can go ahead and dislike the video. I won't be too sad, but thanks for watching anyway. So without further ado, let's get into this, and today's target of choice is just going to be our punching bag Chatacabra, just to demonstrate some of this stuff. Because of course he is this week's event quest, and we might as well get some armor spheres while showcasing some of these hunting techniques. So for tip number 1, what some of you guys may not know is, as you can see, a lot of the monsters in this game won't actually start attacking you until you start attacking them. A lot of these guys are relatively docile. Some of the monsters later on in the game are a little bit more aggressive. I'm talking to you, Oda Garen, who will just attack on sight, and also Blangongo. But that is not why we're here today. So what you can do is, before you started any fight, if you actually head up behind the monster, you can see you have a prompt for a sneak attack. And now this will show up if you do not have monster aggro for whatever reason. Now currently, obviously, because he's not trying to fight me, I haven't got monster aggro, so I can do this sneak attack. But if I stand around him and annoy him enough, then this sneak attack prompt will go away. But you can go ahead and do a sneak attack, and it opens you up with quite a large amount of damage. I mean, that was nearly 400 damage, and yes, this is an endgame charge blade build, but that 400 damage is going to go quite a long way into the fight. So the sneak attack is obviously a super handy way of engaging the monster to begin with for a good bit of free easy damage. So tip number 2 is going to be the fact that your Seikret can actually pick you up after a fall during combat. After your sneak attack, your fight might be going pretty well, but what happens if the monster knocks us over time and time again and we're stuck on the ground for extended periods of time? Well, if you didn't actually know, calling your Seikret while you're on the ground, he can actually run and pick you up off the ground. Just like that. There we go. Thank you very much. So, obviously, not too big a deal with Chatacabra, because he's not the most challenging enemy in the world. But if you get knocked down middle of the fight by like an Arcveld and you're on the floor for a while, your Seikret can actually come and pick you up and get you out of danger much quicker than you'd be able to get up and roll out the way in general. So, the Seikret is not only just a tool for mobility that will keep you around, he is also a tool to use anytime through mid-combat. Honestly, anytime that I get knocked down by a monster, I am generally trying to spam the up arrow on my D-pad to get my Seikret here as quickly as possible to come and pick me up off my butt. And tip number 3 is going to be about focus mode and the wounds, and the fact that tempered wounds in particular are going to drop you very useful and good slinger ammo. Now, we all know with our focus mode, you can obviously aim your attacks really nicely, and also whenever you create a wound on the monster, you can see it glowing up very nicely here. Now, this blue glowing wound is because it's a tempered wound, which is specific to tempered monsters. But if you actually destroy Chatacabra, you okay? You seem to have your head stuck in the wall there. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing Chatacabra could do. That's pretty cool. He kind of stuck his head through the wall. Anyway, yes. Chatacabra has a vulnerable attack there, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about are these tempered wounds. And if you do your focus strike using left trigger to aim, and then RB or R1 to do your focus strike, most of these tempered wounds will actually drop you either Wyveria Bloodstone, which can be used for melding, but they will also normally drop you some battle remains, and these battle remains are always some very powerful slinger ammo. So make sure you actually keep an eye out for those battle remains on the map, because unlike your regular slinger ammo, which might just hit for a little bit of damage, these guys actually hit super hard, and if you hit them into wounds as well, they'll hit even harder. Excellent. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of damage coming out of just one single bit of slinger ammo. So just make sure you guys pick up these as and when you destroy tempered wounds, because it's not just the melding material it's not just the materials you get, it is also these awesome slinger pods. And for tip number 4, this is going to be a super useful one, especially for me who likes to play Charge Blade, and it takes an absolute hour for me to stick away my weapon. Now, you've probably been in the situation where you've been fighting a Rathalos or something like that, and they're about to fly away, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you've got to put, in my case, I've got to put away a Charge Blade, which literally takes 3 to 4 business days, and God forbid it's in axe mode already. It literally takes ages to put it away, and by that point, to take out my slinger and fire it, the monster's already going to be half gone. So, for me personally, I never really used to fire much slinger ammo, even though some of the things like flash pods and screamer pods are absolutely fantastic. It just takes way too long to put away your weapon, pull out the slinger, fire it, and then go back to normal combat. And then, obviously, if you do drop the Rathalos out the air or something like that, it is going to take a long time to then get your weapon back out and start your combos up again. Well, actually, there's a shortcut to be able to fire your slinger ammo. If I've got my weapon out, as you can see here, if I hold left trigger to go into focus mode like normal, and actually press down on the left stick, so it's going to be the left thumbstick I'm going to push down, and as you can see here, even with my weapon out, I can fire a slinger ammo super quick and super effectively, and it barely breaks up the combat one bit, so I'm still staying right into all of my combos. Doesn't matter what mode I'm in, I can be sword mode or axe mode, and this works with every weapon. You can super easily fire off slinger pods this way. Now, unfortunately, this does not work with the special slinger ammo that I talked about before in tip number 3. Unfortunately, that slinger ammo is only specifically gonna be able to be fired with your weapon put away, which is a bit of a shame, and I wish they changed it, but maybe it'd be a little too OP if that was the case. But regardless, being able to fire your slinger ammo without having to put away your weapon is just amazing. It's honestly made me a way more efficient hunter when it comes to a lot of these flying monsters like Rathalos, and also stopping monsters from running away to their dens, because those quick interrupts are always super useful. And for tip number 5, now this is one that after about 80 hours of gameplay I still didn't know. So if you guys already know this one, I will definitely be surprised. How to quickly put on your mantles, and this was a great returning feature from Monster Hunter World, is our mantles. Now unfortunately we do not have many mantles at the moment, but hopefully we do get some more mantles in the future, perhaps in some title updates or at least in the DLC. But for me, putting on the mantle was always pretty annoying. I like to use a corrupted mantle just for a little bit of extra spicy damage. To put on my mantle previously, I have to put away my weapon, I have to have it selected on my bottom hotbar, which is there. I can obviously have it pre-selected, but I have to find it on my bottom hotbar and then press X to put on my mantle. And to be honest, this just takes a long time and once again interrupts your combo. And especially with something like a corrupted mantle, you want to get as much attack damage out of it as you can. So we're looking for a nice opening, and I'm going to demonstrate first with the ghillie mantle what happens, and then I'm going to demonstrate afterwards with a corrupted mantle if you follow what I'm going to do here. So hopefully we can get a knockout here in just a second. There we go. So now I'll have to pretend this is a corrupted mantle. I've put my weapon away, and then I have to put the ghillie mantle on, then pull my weapon out. And by that point, Chattercabra's almost back up on his feet, and we've wasted most of our damage window. Now, wouldn't it be handy if, just like the slinger ammo, we had a shortcut to allow us to get into this corrupted mantle sooner? Well, guess what? We have. So if I actually just knock this guy over again, or paralyze him, there we go. He's paralyzed. Now, if I hold left bumper and press right trigger on my controller, it is going to automatically put on my mantle, and I can make use of the damage window super easily. So I can make use of that damage window much more efficiently without having to put my weapon away. I can just stick my mantle on, middle of the fight, no repercussions, only a tiny little break from the combat, and it allows me to be able to take out these monsters so much more efficiently. And not only that, you can take off your mantle once it's done, so it can start recharging as soon as possible, because obviously in this game you do not get it back after every single fight. It actually comes back after a set amount of time. So as soon as your mantle is used up, I'm just going to finish off this Chattercabra because I don't like the way he's looking at me. So you can see, now that that fight's done and I want to take off my mantle, the same again, if I hold the left bumper to pull up my wheel and then press right trigger, it is going to automatically take my mantle off there for me without having to put my weapon away at all, which is just super useful for a variety of combat situations. And much like the slinger ammo, it makes me actually use these items much more. So hopefully with all those tips, you should be able to hunt monsters just that bit more efficiently. And so why not put them into practice against a lovely little target, and this is going to be Rathalos. So I'm going to put to use as many of these different tips as I've just shown you, just to see how if you put all these together in good combination, it can make your hunts that much more fun and flow that much better. So first of all, we said about sneak attacks. So we'll wait for him to drop to the ground. And we'll start off the fight with a nice little sneak attack for a bunch of extra damage. Now, Rathalos always loves the roar, so if we can block that, go straight up into the axe combo. Now he's in the air, so I'm going to flash him down straight away. There we go with the quick flash. Just got to charge those into my shield. Now, I'm not going to put on my Corrupted Mantle just yet because I don't feel like I've got a good enough window. Hopefully, if I'm able to paralyze him in just a second, or knock him out, that is. Unfortunately, he got that attack on me. As soon as I'm able to either paralyze him or knock him out, I'm going to put the Corrupted Mantle on with that little shortcut. So, he's going to go up in the air. So, I'm going to flash him again, drop him down. And this time, I am going to put my Corrupted Mantle on. Throw that on real quickly with the weapon still out. And now we're just in a perfect position. We should have a knockout straight away into a paralysis shortly after. And we are just in prime position to take down this Rathalos super quickly. And you can see how when you put all of those things into motion, the fight just flows so much more fluidly. And you're just able to get off these combos much easier, much nicer. Not having to put your weapon away as much. And it might not matter as much for you guys because you might be using a weapon that doesn't take 3 business days to actually put away. However, if you're a fellow Charge Blade user like myself, it is going to take a hell of a long time to put your weapon away. I'm going to flash him again since Rathalos loves to get flashed. And like, we've still got our weapon up, so we are still able to just go to town straight away with barely a single hitch. Hopefully we can get another paralysis potentially, or sort of knockdown maybe. Let's go. Unfortunately, he's going to be able to make it away from him. We did run out of flash pods there, which is a little bit sad since he is super low. But we can go ahead and just follow him over to his nest and capture him nice and easily. Why not go for an aerial? Is he going to drop down or is he going to keep going? You ready to drop down? Come on then, Rathalos. Yep. And lovely. Couple of trank bombs. And that's the fight. And a Rathalos Ruby on top of it. Very nice. So, as you can see then, it just makes the whole fight flow so much more smoothly. And, in my opinion, just makes it a whole lot more fun to do. So, that is going to be that. Like I said at the start of the video, if you didn't know about at least one of these tips, you gotta like the video and give us a sub. But if you knew about all 5 of these, then go ahead and dislike the video. I won't be too hurt from it. But that is going to be about it from me today, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.